Hello everyone, this is AmberAnkNA here. Welcome to my channel. Well, I play a variety of games and do narrations for fanfics. I'm really hoping you enjoy my content. If you do, make sure to comment below, leave a like, and subscribe with the notifications on. Right, until next time, this is AmberAnkNA. Welcome to my channel. So, hi! Now to do the only option left. Chapter 2, The Grits. Because of the immediate thought of the information received, Wowzer was the only word that escaped her lips. She just met a future version of her daughter, and was left stunned and without the proper way to express how she was feeling. Standing face to face with the grainy blonde with short cropped hair and a strain of red that clearly symbolized her rebellious nature. Max recognized the girl's sharp posture and knew it mirrored her own when she was at that age. "I'm sorry for spying on you," the teenager sorry admitted, breaking the awkward silence. I don't know. I have a lot of questions." Max noticed the girl wasn't making eye contact and assured she inherited the same anxious and self-doubting energy that plagued her during those younger years. "Hey, it's okay, Destiny." The minute took a step forward and tenderly placed her hand on the girl's shoulder with her head tilted upward, looking into beautiful sapphire eyes that matched her own. "Take a deep breath and find a calm spot in your mind. That's what helped me when I was your age." Most people with kids are afforded the opportunity to slowly watch their children grow up and somehow figure out how to communicate with them along the way. Max has been thrown into a conversation where a girl she loved with every bit of her heart, but didn't really know. Communication would have to be learned quickly and on the fly. Without hesitation, the teenager stepped forward and wrapped her long arms around her mother's neck. Max felt her body slightly shaking and could feel the pulse under her chin, thumping wildly. Something about the embrace and warm emotion compelled the brunette to lower her eyelids, and an enjoying and heartfelt warmth surged through her body. She released the hug and looked up at her daughter's face. She was smiling and her confidence was bearing. "Will you come with me? I'm sure Chloe is really sick right about now. Let's go back to our place and talk." She stretched out her arm, palm facing the side, in hopes of building more trust. "Sure." The blonde hastily responded as he took hold of her mother's hand. "I prefer death." "What?" Max asked, a little confused. I haven't heard you say my full first name in years." The younger girl stuttered. "Most people call me Death now. Is that okay with you?" Her voice trembled a bit, but had a thin, soft edge to it. "Yeah, of course. Whatever you want." It felt weird to start her daughter's name, but the adult was trying to be as careful as she could to not steal Death away. The girl had clearly traveled through time to be there, and flickering her off was the last thing Max wanted. After string magical smiles, the girl slowly twisted around and began walking back towards the festival where the toddler and her mom were waiting. Following the first few steps, Max's cell phone vibrated from her back jeans pocket, and she knew it was her wife attempting to reach her. She received the device and confirmed it was her soulmate's message. Replying with a mere thumbs up emoji. Years ago, her best friend hated that she sent emojis all the time, but they slowly grew on her. Chloe even began to use them herself after realizing their usefulness to convey thoughts and emotion quickly without having to type full sentences. The mother-daughter pair didn't speak except once when Max asked Jess if she wanted a bite to eat. The girl shook her head and they continued walking. As they approached the bench, before making their way past the brick half wall that separated the road from the sidewalk, she spotted Chloe's extended arm in the air, waving back and forth in the direction, obviously relieved to see her. Her hand movement slowed and her eyes narrowed, and Max could almost hear her wife's gears turning, wondering what the new teenage Pam is. New fan, mister? The taller of the three stirred and greeted them with one palm against her hip, another hand holding the toddler's. She's hella cute. Look at all those beautiful freckles. A strange bored tingle of unseen energy strode among the groups. All four felt the worst, including the toddler, who began to giggle at the sensation. It only lasted several seconds and then died down as quickly as it began. "Ooh," the teen said first. "That felt, really good, I think. What did you do?" She looked across at the blonde adult who briefly pushed her shoulders up beside her ears, indicating she was baffled too. She stepped in front of the 2-year-old version of herself and ran her fingers through the little girl's hair. "Hey, sweetheart," she bubbled with a tender, heartfelt grin on her face. "You're in for a wild ride, but you got this. You get to live a fantastic and amazing life that others don't. Find the beauty in it." The little girl obviously smiled, then went back to playing with her fingers. Like a light bulb sparkling in her mind, Chloe's face lit up with wonder. "Holy shit! Are you her?" She nailed her thumb inside her motion towards the little girl still sitting on the bench. "Fuck! That's weird. What are you, 17? 18? Max could see the puzzled pieces falling together in her partner's head. "Hi, Mom," the new arrival giggled. "I'm 18. She paused and looked back over her shoulder at Max. "About how old you were when you fell in love, if I'm not mistaken." "Well, sorta." The boy nodded. "I was always in love with your mom, even when we were kids. But yeah, I around your age. I think I convinced her to love me back." She saw a tender glance at her partner, who playfully crooked her face and rolled her eyes. "Oh, right." The red-streaked blonde agreed after running her fingers through her own hair from front to back. "The pirate years, or what you call them. And I would tend to agree. I saw you look at one another back then. So, same way you look at each other now. Your love was always there, even in the beginning. Only a fool wouldn't recognize that." "Wait, you saw us as kids? How did—" Chloe began but was cut off mid-sentence. "Why don't we go home for this conversation?" Master interrupted, looking back and forth over her shoulder at the people walking by who he suspected might be within earshot. "This probably should be a more private conversation." "You could say more of a private conversation, Mafty Mass?" Dorgo joked, luring hilarious grins from the others in the group. "Yeah, let's just take this to the house. Maybe we can make some coffee and chat. Also," she raised at her favorite person, "I was in love with you the whole time, too, dork." "Guess you love coffee in every universe." The teenager bent down and deeply laughed in what seemed to be a personal inside joke. When she gathered herself and looked back up at her staring parents, she coughed and apologized. "Sorry, guess that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to you." Chloe stared close to the girl who had inherited half her own DNA and straightened while standing up and down. She gazed at the girl's feet and slowly made her way up to the punk's wet street. She reached out and genuinely pushed her fingers through the dread front portion and smiled. God, you look so much like us now. I love your freckles, and you're built like me. Shit, hope you aren't as dumb as I was at your age. I said and did some pretty stupid things. Babe, Master Earth, let's do this when we get home. Her paranoia was heightened, and she didn't want to be off her guard. In a potential future, this day was one of the most horrific of her life. She was slightly terrified someone with evil intention would overhear, and her heart sunk like it did when she thought her partner was dead. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry, love. Let's get out of here. Chloe honestly realized it wasn't very smart to discuss these things in a public setting, especially today. The girls gathered in their belongings and started meandering through the crowd back towards their town home. Shit! The photographer up. I needed to take some pictures for the blog today, and there's no way I'd be focused enough to sift through resumes. Info had grown larger than Max had ever dreamt. The chase-based residency was still in full effect, but she had offers from several other galleries and requests from hundreds of individuals wanting her services. Demand was much higher than she could keep up with, and her partner convinced her that growth was necessary. The brunette wanted to mainly focus on her own artwork, but that was was a whale she needed to hire other artists to fill the gaps she couldn't by herself. It was her intention to hire mostly new amateur photographers to help them learn their craft and expand their knowledge experience. The tough part would be finding a balance between experience and quality, as she didn't want anyone being part of her team that didn't manage their craft with the same care she did when she was first starting out. We could come back tomorrow, love. The festival will be going on all weekend, and there's really no worse on the resumes. We go through them together in a week or so. Matt nodded, and they continued the stroll. On the way back to the house, the toddler fell asleep, and the tall goes on with her head cocked over on her mom's shoulder. She typically napped around midday, but with the festival taking place, it was a couple of hours past her nap time. Inside, Corey took off the kids' shoes and socks and laid her down in the crib. She covered her with a promotional inflatable blanket she had created for an artisanal revenue theme for the website. The photographer emptied the old brew from the morning, rinsed the glass brown stain pot, and prepped for a newborn slug coffee. She opened the bag and took a deep sip, enjoying the sense of the fresh grounds. The smell of coffee always sent the girl to a happy place in her mind. Calming her soul and relaxing her thoughts, Des was slowly strolling around the living room, sweeping through some of the boxes that littered the floor. At first, Max thought it's strange and wanted to see to call her into the kitchen. Then she realized that Tina was a lot like her, being overly curious and nosy, taking every little detail in every room. Was how she used to be too. Corey re-entered the kitchen and plopped down beside the red Sikh bond just as the coffee gurgled to completion. So, she began the conversation. You're a time traveler. Not to be too upfront, but what the hell are you doing here? Well, the visitor responded with a shakiness to her voice. I thought today was an important day in your lives. I figured I could recognize something big that would have already happened, though. there's this, well, it's like a knot in the timeline. Like something happened between her, something happened today and then it was changed, but I can't figure out how to see the original event, whatever it was. She paused and looked back and forth between her mom several times. After a brief moment of silence, she continued, I sort of obsessed with your lives. I can do things nobody else I know can, and it's because of your damn amazing love. In every possible reality I've seen, you are at the center of, like, everything. My parents, well, you guys won't tell me much. They always say the answers will come one day and I have to go out without expectations. As I get it, you have been through through some crazy ass shit and don't want me burdened with that noise. It makes sense. Corey interrupted. Destiny. Crow, call her Des. Let's see, apparently goes by now. Max tiptoed over with two hot cups of fresh coffee, laying the mugs in front of the two singing girls. She retreated, grabbing her own beverage, then joined her family at the table. Really? Fine then. Des, I was just gonna say that I don't really know shit about time travel, but won't we know in the future that this conversation happened? Like, now that you're here and telling us in your past, the future will be affected, right? Probably. The younger girl shrugged, then stirred and removed her back hoodie and stringing it over the chair, revealing a blue tank top before sitting back down. Master immediately noticed the girl's half-sleeve tattoo on the shoulder and top portion of her left arm. Engulfed in blue flame, a filled golden dragon spiraled upward on the arm, hanging in the foreground. And here's a picture of the deaths. Doo-doo! This I'm gonna sew. I will sew. Nice tattoo. It made the brunette happy knowing her daughter had the foresight to have the art located high enough so she could cover it if she decided to enter the professional world at some point. Fuck, that's sick! I've been trying to persuade your mom to get some ink for damn near ever. I myself wanted another one on top of the blackout area, but I won't do it until Superman decides he's in. Corey nudged her wife beneath the table with her foot. We could call it a day and get needled up together. Following her mom's words, the time traveler smiled and shook her head, looking down at the table. Something funny? The brunette asked in a stern voice with one eyebrow cocked and a goofy grin on her face. No, sorry. It's just that, well, you have a badass tat in my present. Guess Mom talked you into it. It shouldn't take much. I really wanted one for a while. I just never felt right spending that much money when we could be buying diapers or food. Max wanted a blue mofo butterfly in her list and maybe a lighthouse, but she wasn't sure if it would bring back painful memories for her soulmate. She hoped those dark times were far enough behind them that it would matter anymore. They hadn't experienced the 2 storm weeks the way they did. She suspected fate and destiny would still have pulled them back together somehow. That's it! We're getting ink. We haven't more than enough then we know what to do with, love. I've been telling you we need to start spending more money in time traveling. We might most of our expenses off on our taxes anyways. Imagine photographing in Europe or shit. Asia, Africa, whatever. That would be amazeballs. For the first time, Max noticed what was hanging from the necklace her daughter was wearing. It had been mostly covered from the hoodie, but was now clearly in view. The brass trying to hold one of the 3 bullets her best friend used to wear several years ago. She reached over and briefly cupped the bullet in her palm, then let it slowly fall back to where it had been hanging. It's crazy seeing you guys at this age. You're so full of energy and everything. Oh, and your wedding. Holy shit! That was the most beautiful thing I ever seen. You two are so cute. Max watched the way Dessa's face went up when talking about them. It felt proud knowing they must be good parents and raised their daughter right. And it was incredible seeing my own birth. Nobody else gets to do the things I do. Why not spoil my power? In my time, you guys encouraged me not to jump around. Guess you were worried I might mess things up, but I'm very careful. In the end, you knew I would do what I wanted anyway, so here I am. Whoa. Matt spoke in, wondering if she might have jumped the gun on being proud knowing now that just disciplining them in the future. If we told her not to, why are you doing this? You must have a better reason than this to explore. Well, the young adult began. A year or 2 ago, I accidentally, what's the best word? I glimpsed beyond our universe and into another. Something happened that was way beyond my control. Some crazy shit went down and somehow I glimpsed back. Holy shit balls! Chloe called, followed by shh from her partner, and they head bobbed towards the sweeping Charles room. She lowered her voice and kindled. Let's take a huge step back. I can fast forward and Max can rewind. Your powers seem, I don't know, different. You're traveling around in time into other universes, not just moving time around you. I mean, we can forward drop to different spots, but it has its limitation. Your power feels more, well, powerful. What all can you do? The older girl glanced back down at her teenage daughter's arm in admiration. Damn, I love your tat. Thank you. This replied beyond a baffled yet beaming smile, running her fingers over the ink on her shoulder and arm. So, I figured out I can travel through time, as you know. I can see the past or the future through windows I create. I've seen as far into the future as my 21st birthday, and as far back as your 2 playing as pirates when you were kids. By the way, I love pirates so much. She took a gulp of her drink and forcefully swallowed. You told me not to peel too far into the future so I don't spoil my entire life. And I promised I wouldn't. Anyway, when I turned 15, I decided I can imagine a moment I seen through one of my windows and I can physically travel to that time. Damn. Matt spoke up, followed by a sip of her coffee. You're missing something about a knot in the timeline today. That's why you're here now. Tell us more about that. Well, the Red Streak Bond began with a breathy sigh. Like I said, I actually glitched to another universe after I had just turned 17. I really thought it was a dream for a while, but then I found proof I was there and things sort of changed after that. It made me want to find out more about your past. What do you mean, chains? Chloe asked, also stripping her cold coffee. Who's on the booge, love? The truth is, I think the grits unlock a portion of my power. Now, I don't even need windows. I can see time in my thoughts. It's like a straight path forward and backward, it thin entering lines that light bounce outward from the center. There are several knots in your past where I know you two changed something. I can only see a glimpse into one particular knot, but it's clear these were important moments in your lives. Also, it only works for me if it involves one of the three of us. I can't see any other timelines but ours, except when I glitz. I experimented some, but am way too still to play around us. But if I can glitz beyond the straight path, I know there's even more power I haven't discovered yet. Straight paths? Ew. Chloe turned her gaze toward Master and bitterly shook her head with one corner of her mouth angled upward in a slight grin. Get it? Slate? Damn, never mind. Quickly changing gears, Master cleared her coffee-lined throat. You said you have questions for us. What did you want to ask? Seems like you already know a ton. Yeah, so... This started after setting up and facing away from her parents. Today, what did you change? Why is there a knot in the timeline? Matt Strauss in her seat, remembering the terrible feelings she experienced when she thought her soulmate had been killed. She knew they had changed things and nothing bad actually happened, but it felt very real. The negative memory bounced around her head as she also recalled Rachel showing her the moment a bullet would have pierced through her daughter's head. Noticing Mass's sudden sadness, her favorite person stood up and placed her hands on the brunette's shoulders. She began pressing down her thumbs in a circular motion, massaging the girl's neck and upper back in encouragement. We had this friend who told us effusively you were shot and killed today. Then Mass experienced a false reality where I was killed. It was horrible for her. All of the whole shitty thing. Chloe's tone shifted as she was similarly also dealing with the baggage of what would have happened had she not have gone through the future window and prevented the tail event. By friend, do you mean Rachel? Des asked as Chloe nodded her head. I admittedly don't know much about her, but part of me hates her. I mean, she didn't deserve to die the way she did. But it's obvious she used you for years. She mutilated everyone around her and betrayed you. So much about how she treated you back then breaks my heart. Yeah, but Chloe began but was interrupted. But she chose to sacrifice herself. At some point, with some way, protected you. I'm still not sure what happened or how, but it's clear both of you forgive her and consider her a good friend. I saw the memorial in your bedroom that day. I hear how respectful you both talk about her when her name comes up. I saw the night before the wedding with the blue feathering, and I watched you wear it during the ceremony. Hell, we even still middle names, so she must be special. Whereas there are things I don't understand, since I can only see reality as it happens in time, not the thing that will change. It's tough to see a person mutilate and destroy someone you care about without having some resentment. Wow, that makes sense, Mascot. But you didn't get to see her on the cliff sacrificing her life for hours. You didn't see what she did for us in the dream space. Without her, there would be no you, Des. She protected us, and you, without hesitation. She was brave and bold. We owe her more than we can ever repay. The younger mom's voice was stern, but her face was soft. She wanted to express how much Rachel meant to them, without seeming like she was upset at her daughter. She hurt me, Des. There's no way around it. But she saved me in more ways than I can describe. She redeemed herself over and over again. At one point, Max knew this conversation would be too painful for Chloe, but they had come a long way and healed one another through love and an understanding that everyone has a purpose. I can completely fill you in on the details some point if you like. Why have you had these conversations with us? In your time? Okay. I'm sorry. The teenager sighed and sat back down at the table, folding her hands on top. I'm not as open with them as I've been with you. Not that I really hide anything, but for some reason, I feel more comfortable talking to you. Maybe it's because you're closer to my age now. I don't know. Plus, they seem to want me to figure things out on my own, I guess. Maybe they knew I would be here now. Shit. Time travel is confusing. The smoke then continued. Anyway, the other questions I have are all about instances I can't see on the timing. Like, I saw you. She looked in the brunette to listen. Crawl through a tail in space. It wasn't one of the windows with the golden rims. It was just a floating hole. You could find your powers inside a lightning bolt or something and tore right through. It's the only knot I can actually feel. It's not on the timeline for whatever reason, but it's like a hanging string I can see. I look at it several times, so what did you go? And what was that all about? The Wasser's realm, Mouse stuttered. The what? He said he didn't have a name, but his purpose was to watch. He couldn't see the past and the future, then hold me in a terrible trance. It was horrible, but because of mine and Chloe's love, I broke free and beat that piece of shit. The timelines we set, canceling out an entire week, and we were back at the lighthouse in front of the storm. I'm not sure what became of the Wasser, but as soon as I extinguished his flame, it sounded like he, died. I'm not sure he was really even alive, though, to be honest. Destiny's cries could be heard from down the hall, muffled at first, then growling louder, and Chloe left the kitchen to greet the recently awakened Tyler. Be right back, she said with a grin. It's your turn next, hippie. Suddenly, only seconds after the older girl left the room, Thus Eppley pushed the table and grabbed her head with both hands. It's happening! She called out. Thus, what's happening? Mass returned, jumping to her feet, kissing the girl as her body limped backwards toward the floor. I'm Christian again. Shit! No, I got you. Everything will be fine. Just calm down. I can't control it. The teenager pulled Mass's face towards her. Mom, I think I stayed in the past too long. It's like last time, only different. A single tear slid down her cheek and her mother wiped it with her palm. Please don't let me go. Stay with me. The brunette considered rewinding to win the goal before the grist began. But she hadn't used her power in years. I'm here, sweetheart. Mass noticed the room breaking in and out of reality, and quickly understood what that meant. Chloe! She yiped, but it was too late. She wouldn't be able to release the tusk if she tried, and if she could, there was no way she'd leave her daughter at that point. She was underneath the teenager's body, propping death on her knees. Panic began to engulf her thoughts as a bright white light flashed like a laser from the girl she was cuddling. The kitchen table and chairs ceased to exist and were replaced with translucent persimmon muscles. I love you, babe! Teresa was about to leave the present, and there was no telling where she would end up. The sound of Chloe's footstep pattered in the distance, followed by a shrieking murmur like she was underwater. Mass! The girl voice screamed. Another flashed away, and an overwhelming vortex of wind pushed her sideways. Without warning, all straight vanished and was replaced with a dark black shadow, pressing through reality. A short shrieking gone like tone echoed in the unseen distance, and Master's consciousness was replaced by the vast void. Whew. I wonder what does Grits and took Mass along, basically. That basically what happened. Mask Koi just Chris and Mask came along. Wonder what's gonna be happening next. We'll find out. We will see. We will see, we'll see, we'll see, we'll see, we'll see. We will see. Hi everyone. This is AmberAnkNA 2000 again. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Because, you know, I really did enjoy making it. But, so I hope you enjoyed it. Comment, like, and subscribe with the notifications on down below. Till next time, bye!